Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Super Breakdown. Today we're looking at the MSM-04 Acguy, piloted by Akahana. The Acguy is one in a series of suits that the Versus franchise seems to do from time to time, in that it is effective. You can do damage with it. The damage on most of its attacks is very low, and it's pretty difficult to use, but you can win with it. It has very low health, but it also has a very low cost. Some would call these joke suits. They're not quite that bad, but the kit is very strange. So let's go over it. You have the basic chain gun. It does decent damage. It adds up, over time, but reloads pretty quickly. You have the missiles. These are going to be your bread and butter for actual range damage, because they do have some nice seeking in on them. They have some nice homing. You can call in the Juagu team. The main use for the Juagu team is not the damage, because as you can see, they don't lock on at all. The main use for the Juagu team is the shielding they can give you to be able to block some basic attacks. You can also call in your other striker here. And it works, but as you can see, it misses more often than it connects. You can also go for the stun off the other version of it, which is better, but it's still not a very long stun. And it can be very difficult to use the stun when you want to. Even pressing the exact same button combination, I can't ever seem to get it to come out correctly every time. So, the Acguy doesn't have a lot of health. It doesn't have a very strong range kit. Maybe the melee kit, where is that, right? So we go in with the melee. We have side melee. Not that great. Does okay damage. Not that great. Forward melee. It's okay. If you're on the ground and you do forward melee, then you can roll into a ball if you have a far enough lead up time. Oh no, I'm sorry. If you're dashing, you can roll into the ball. Still not incredible, honestly, because you can get knocked out of it completely. But it does decent damage. Not as good as, say, Doan Zaku, but it's decent damage all the same. Back melee is that hop, which can be very useful. And then standard melee is just this combination right here. Which, again, it's not bad. It does decent damage. But there are other 1500s that do better damage. The burst is also really strange. You summon in 3 strikers, 3 other Acguys, and they will just roll around the field, seeking whom they may devour. They do okay damage if they hit, but they don't track in any way whatsoever. So it's very random if they're actually going to be able to connect with you, which is not the greatest when it comes to bursts. This suit, I think, is just really strange, and honestly, I don't like it. Going into the second round, of course, we ask and answer our very simple question of, should you use the Acguy? No, I don't think you should. I think that the main merit of the Acguy is the idea of they don't know how to respond to this because they're not used to going up against one of these. Simply because most people don't use it, right? At 1500 cost, there are other 1500s that I think fulfill the role of unexpected surprise better. And when it just comes to the moveset, I don't think the Acguy is that great. Most of its kit doesn't really synergize together in a way that I find very satisfying. There are uses for it, for sure. The Juagu being able to shield you. The stun is pretty nice, but it doesn't last very long. And you're just going to get manhandled. You're going to get tossed around, no matter how good you are at sidestepping, because the Acguy just doesn't have a lot of boost either. The 1500. You can do some good damage, but it's eventually going to resolve into a down, from which you won't be able to continue the combo, because it doesn't have anything to really continue the combos with. You have a charge, and if you charge it up, then you can kick an Acguy. That's probably your most damaging move. The ability to kick an Acguy, which, again, is pretty cool. It also stacks in that the Acguy you kick will remain for a little while and will roll around and can still connect with your enemies. But, just like your burst, it's not a guaranteed thing that they'll hit. They just kind of go around, and they can hit you, as you just saw there. It just makes it so strange, because then by like mid-game, if you haven't died, you have a ton of Acguys just rolling around, and they can hit you too. So, like, what's the purpose? What's the point? Why would you do that? You know? It's so random and weird. And, like, maybe that's what you want. Maybe you want random and weird. But if you're a melee player, it doesn't have a great melee. If you're a range player, it doesn't have a great range kit. It's just really strange. You got that one. We got that life. I think that you can do some good moves with the Acguy, but I definitely can't recommend it to people with a good conscience. Try it if you just want to mess around with something and see about maybe mixing it up, but I just don't think this is a very good suit, personally. Unfortunately, too, because I think the Acguy is a really cool suit by design, you know? I think design-wise, the Acguy is super cool. Oh, no. Tried to sidestep that at the last second, didn't have the boost for it. "30 seconds to turn this around." Got him. You can win with him. It's just not... It's not easy. It's not really great, I think, because the kit just doesn't really help you. But, you know, hey, you can take down Gundams. I think you can do. Until next time, though, my name has been Trey. This has been The Full Spectrum. Let me know your thoughts on the Acguy in the comment section down below. And remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that the Acguy has to offer.